I think you did a great job with the broccoli. I love the freshness of the cucumber. But even though you say you seared the burger, it's not even like it's really seasoned.
I think that there's some really lovely components here. The citrus is delicious. Really had the most beautiful dish. It was really artfully done and presented. And I think the thought of having a salad really works.
Thank you.
Chefs, 3 of you will be back to compete some more in just a few minutes. Thank you.
I think leftovers are fine to cook for other people. I don't eat them personally.
I hate throwing out leftovers. So many people in the world are going hungry.
I do not like leftovers at all.
I'm at the restaurant 80 hours a week. The leftovers keep me alive, especially when I get home late at night from work. Like, I love that. I don't know.
I'll tell you, yeah, what a great appetizer round.
Jason had, I thought, like a lovely broccoli soup. He developed flavors from the hamburger with some fish sauce and garlic.
Really, really creative. Not successful at all with the lasagna, however. It's really kind of limp.
Josh, I think, gave Jason a run for his money. I really loved his presentation. I thought that the salad was delicious. On the negative side, I believe that he could have really developed the flavors more.
I agree with you. I was really hoping that the flavors would match the presentation.
But that broccoli puree was outrageously delicious.
Aatul really transformed the hamburger. Really smart. He added the insides of the lasagna to that because quesadilla sort of needs that sort of cheesiness, and it worked perfectly.
I love the pico de gallo.
But the fortune cookies in sour cream just didn't work. I think Chrissy may have made the most satisfying dish, but Chrissy's presentation was lacking any kind of aesthetic.
I agree with you.
Well, anything else we need to discuss before we chop somebody?
No, we're ready.
All right, let's do it.
Josh might be chopped. He didn't put all of the ingredients together as a proper dish.
I'm feeling great. The judges really like the broccoli puree. Do I want to move on to the next round? Yes, I don't want to go home.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? We can't wait to jump right into the second round of this leftovers competition, but only 3 chefs can continue on. So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Chef Josh, you've been chopped. Judges?
Josh, the leftover theme is a curveball. However, it was a curveball that was thrown to all chefs equally.
Sure.
And we just felt that the other chefs were able to repurpose the ingredients better. You did some really great things. That broccoli puree was outstanding. However, we have to let you go.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. Well, sure, I'm absolutely disappointed. What I should have done was looked and thought about other creative ways to use those ingredients. But again, they completely threw me off. I mean, it's leftovers. It's just not my bag.
Chef Jason, Chef Aatul, Chef Chrissy, are you ready for more leftovers surprises?
Ready.
Potentially.
Great. Open up your baskets, please. And the leftovers you must use in your entree courses: barbecued ribs, cold, soggy French fries, a single slice of German chocolate cake.
German chocolate cake. Wow.
Big single slice.
Here we go.
And some leftover chili. You'll have 30 minutes on the clock this time, starting now.
I mean, I love barbecue, but smoke tends to dry things out. So I'm gonna have to get some moisture back into that rib. And then I try a bite of my chili and a chocolate cake. It immediately reads as mole to me. So I'm making German chocolate mole braised pork ribs. So I'm gonna wash off the sauce. Being a chef and working as hard as I do, it pulls me away from my family a lot. And my wife and my daughter kind of make that sacrifice for me to be able to do the career that I love. So I want to buy a house. I want a yard for my daughter. A winning chop will get me that one step closer to giving them what they deserve.
I see Jason washes his ribs off. I'm like, that's a great idea. Get all of that nasty barbecue sauce. In the first round, we had beef, and now it's a pig. There's beef in the chili too. Come on, it's like meat, meat, meat. You're killing me. The minute you see chocolate, thinking mole, but you can't make a decent mole in 30 minutes. So I'm making a pulled pork and French fry cake with some chocolate chili sauce. I think my mom has gone through pain because I'm a chef. You're a cook, you're a chef. I'm the black sheep of the family. I'm the only chef. I want to be the next job champion to make everybody in the family feel very proud.
When I see chocolate, I think mole. And then my brain immediately goes to the Midwest with the fries and chili. I'm going to make a twice roasted barbecue rib with a mock mole, chili cheese fry mash. Put the ribs into the oven. I put lemon juice over the French fries and puree them with my chili. Brian, my parents are Irish. They've never been to Ireland. To give this trip to my parents would mean everything to me. They took care of me, and so now I kind of think it's my turn.
So, judges, does this basket for you have a story in it?
A horror story, actually.
I don't think it's bad.
But ribs with chocolate cake, pork and sugar are very compatible. So it's just the beginning of a barbecue sauce.
Very assertive flavor. It's a great idea.
Well, listen, when ribs are the latest thing in the basket,
You're in trouble.
we need a little relief. Citrus, maybe a salad element, that, something uncooked.
Absolutely.
And chefs, you got 15 minutes.
15 minutes are... These ingredients are very heavy, so I see these beautiful heirloom tomatoes, and I see these beautiful English cucumbers, and I want to do a salt and vinegar pickle, and I just want to simply give that acid on the plate. There's very, very little you can do with leftover French fries. There's really little potato left in the French fry. My first thought, make a French fry puree. I throw in some lemongrass, garlic and shallot, and coconut milk. And then I sort of build the mole with canola oil, garlic, heirloom tomatoes, onion, German chocolate cake, and we have the chili.
For my pulled pork and French fry cake, take a scoop and I portion them and I put them in the oil. The basket has a lot of heaviness, so go for the asparagus. I'm just gonna do a little bit of lemon zest. We'll make it nice and light.
All right, chefs, 5 minutes on the clock. Gotta plate it up.
I just want some kind of green, healthy component. So I go to the pantry and find the frisee. And I want to cook the frisee a little so it's not just greens on a plate.
If something is burning, that is the smell of someone's hopes and dreams going up in flames.
The mole, it's heating too quickly. I taste my sauce, it's a little too sweet, so I think yogurt. Brian, mirin and beer, anything acidic to try and break down the sweetness of that cake. 30 minutes. It feels like 9 minutes.
Little flames going up on Aatul's station.
Realize my red wine is flambing, and I'm hoping nobody's getting burned, but it's a good thing because the alcohol's gone, it's gonna simmer a little bit. In the meantime, I see this cup of chili in front of me, which I haven't touched. Shoot. And I'm thinking, oh God, what do I do with the chili? And I just dump a spoon in the sauce. And you just puree the whole thing.
And chefs, 2-minute warning.
I really wanted to reinforce the mole idea, so I toasted some black sesame and tossed it with a little bit of Maldon sea salt and just sort of garnished the plate with it.
I take the ribs out of the oven, they actually look really good.
Chrissy's ribs are a little bit browned, maybe excessively, but I have to be honest with you, that's my favorite part. I love those burnt ends.
I do too, I really do.
The pork cakes are falling apart. It looks like hash. Hash is breakfast. I don't want to serve breakfast, but I've got to get the food on the plate.
Jason still has his ribs in the oven with a minute left.
And chefs, 1 minute remaining.
Down to the wire. I get my French fry puree on the plate.
30 seconds, chefs.
And the next thing you know is 30 seconds left and I'm rushing to get my ribs on the plate.
Check out that clock, chefs. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Please step back.
I looked down on the plate. My first thought, all my ingredients are on, and I look at Chrissy's plate. The ribs seem exactly the way they came to us in the basket.
I look at Aatul's plate, and I think he's taken the meat off the bones. He's executed that properly, and think I should have taken the meat off the bones. It's nerve-wracking.
Brought to you by NYDJ, the original slimming fit.
Kids.
Oh my goodness! People are gonna think I'm absolutely insane. I don't know what he's doing.
Becomes an eye-opening experience.
Wow, is that delicious?
All new Rachel vs. Guy Kids Cook-Off, Sunday night at 8.
Zapping leftovers in the microwave, so not cool when you have the skills to do more. All three of you proved that with the entrees you made from leftover barbecued ribs, French fries, German chocolate cake, and chili. Chef Aatul,
Today we have for you a pulled pork and French fry cake alongside grilled asparagus, and the sauce is from leftover German chocolate cake and chili with some red wine.
Now, you come from a family of very strict vegetarians, I understand.
Yes, I'm a hypocritical vegetarian, and I have to accept that because my passion was food.
Did you taste this?
I tasted it. But again, I had to make that decision at one point, what is tasting, what is eating. We actually do not bring even eggs at home.
Well, it's interesting that you don't even have eggs at the house because this, to me, it would be a perfect breakfast. And that's a compliment. I think it's delicious. It's like a hash almost.
But there's so much residual oil on this plate. I'm just looking at it.
I applaud you for taking the ribs off the bone. And yeah, this is a very delicious hash. But the chocolate sauce is, maybe it's just the chemicals in the frosting or something, because it's coats the tongue in not a good way.
Thank you, Chef Aatul. Next up, Chef Chrissy.
I made a roasted pork rib with mock mole and a chili cheese fry mash.
It's a pretty plate.
Thank you.
And the ribs are great, but I don't know, I mean, what'd you do with them?
Roasted them in the convection oven, so they weren't dry.
Okay. Boy, what I'm really struggling with is this chili, because I think it's very creative and very interesting, but I don't think I've ever had anything like it in my life, ever.
I think this chili cheese mash tastes and the texture are very similar to overcooked couscous. Frankly, it's not very good.
Okay.
I really like the ribs also. I ate them all, and I love the little frisee. It's some good flavors there.
Finally, Chef Jason.
Today, what we have is German chocolate mole braised pork ribs.
Strangely enough, the thing that I feared most, I'm liking the best about this dish, is the puree of French fries with coconut. And I think it was very good gut instinct to put vinegar and tomato and cucumber and pickle with this, because this is extremely heavy. And I like the mole sauce, but these ribs, they're dry.
Yeah, I just tried to do the best I could with it.
Painfully dry. But the tomato pickle thing that's going on, it's dynamite delicious.
Thank you.
All right, so Chef Jason, are you going to the dessert round?
Yes, I'll see you there.
Excellent. Chefs, we are enjoying getting to know all of you better through your food, but we will soon have to say goodbye to somebody. Thank you.
It's like torture.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted, right? You signed up for this.
Yeah, I like abuse.
So I thought Jason really fell down with those ribs.
Yeah, I agree. Completely. Very dry.
But I thought that he did a good job in thinking about the puree with the French fries and coconut. Really, I mean, that was wild but delicious.
And that salad was the star for me on Jason's plate.
I liked Chrissy's ribs. They came out really great, and they weren't dry at all, and I really loved that she used frisee.
But Chrissy was not successful at all with that chili thing.
The texture, it was off-putting.
And the flavor was maybe more so.
As far as Aatul's plate, I really like that he did this hash, but the sauce itself that he made from the German chocolate cake, unfortunately, just didn't come together.
Aatul did the best job of the ribs. He's the only chef to transform them. It was a little heavy, but his actual rib hash concoction, I thought was absolutely delicious.
I gotta disagree with you. I didn't really like Aatul's dish. I found myself picking the way through it. It read very greasy to me. I'm sorry. It just permeated the whole dish, and once I had one bite, I didn't want to go and have any more. It just tasted the same.
Well, I'm afraid nobody gets a chance to fix the mistakes they made.
No, unfortunately, but I think we know what we have to do.
Okay.
I might have gotten the roughest critique with my pork being kind of dry. I definitely feel less positive than I did the first round. I just hope to see it to dessert.
I feel really good. I kept the pork moist, and Jason's was dry, so I think he's going to get chopped.
So, whose dish is on the chopping block? Don't miss our web series, Chopped After Hours. We put our judges on the chopping block to see how they handle the show's most challenging baskets. Check it out at foodnetwork.com/chopped.
Brought to you by Texas Pete Sauces. Nothing wakes up food like Texas Pete.
Family,
on.